Good evening. Somewhere in the dark of southern Iran right now, an American military aviator is missing in action, and there is a race tonight to locate and recover them before the Iranians can get there first. Those are the stakes after one of the most extraordinary days of this war. It all began with a U.S. F-15E fighter jet like that one on your screen, shot down by Iranian forces, the pilot and a weapons specialist ejecting safely and then evading capture on the ground. But as U.S. rescuers closed in, another aircraft also took fire and crashed, forcing that pilot to eject as well. They were later lifted from the Persian Gulf, and the pilot of the earlier F-15 has been rescued too. But that third crew member is still out there tonight, and we have multiple reports on what happened and what's being done to rescue them, starting with CBS News senior national security correspondent Charlie D'Agata, following things from London. Charlie, good evening.
Good evening, Tony. So this is a first since the conflict began. The very latest we're getting out of U.S. officials tonight is that search and rescue is ongoing for that second crew member of the F-15, somewhere deep behind enemy lines in a remote region of Iran. And the downing of that second rescue aircraft due to enemy fire, even though the pilot was safely out of Iranian airspace before ejecting, just speaks to how dangerous this rescue mission is. We're learning tonight an A-10 Warthog like this took fire during the rescue mission. The pilot ejected over the Persian Gulf off the coast of Kuwait and was rescued safely. A helicopter carrying that rescued fighter jet pilot was also hit by small arms fire, wounding the crew, but managed to land safely. Iranian state TV was the first to report Iranian forces shot down a U.S. fighter jet, airing footage of the wreckage as proof. U.S. officials later confirmed the U.S. Air Force F-15E Strike Eagle had fallen to enemy fire and deep behind enemy lines. A two-seater version like these F-15s seen at a U.S. military base in Britain months ago, part of the buildup to the war. Sources tell us the crew ejected the aircraft and U.S. forces search and rescue teams were scrambled. Footage verified by CBS News shows two helicopters and a C-130 flying low level above the skies of central Iran. The fighter jet is believed to have gone down in a remote and mountainous region of a southwestern province, hundreds of miles south of the Iranian capital of Tehran. On state television, the Iranian regime announced a bounty on the crew, with a local businessman offering a $50,000 reward to anyone who captures crew members alive. The U.S. military will have rehearsed a search and rescue mission like this with teams on standby, especially in a military operation on this kind of scale. Crews are equipped with GPS and beacons with them to track their location and radios to contact rescue teams. So the downing of two combat aircraft calls into question claims from Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and others that U.S. and Israeli forces have achieved air superiority. And it changes things dramatically because when the military sends fighter jets into a hostile environment, they want to make sure that their pilots are not within reach of enemy fire. That may not be the case. Tony?
All right, Charlie, thank you very much. For more on this, let's bring in CBS News national security analyst Aaron MacLean. He's a Marine Corps veteran who served in Afghanistan and the host of the School of War podcast. Aaron, in a sense, this was bound to happen. Thousands of air missions over Iran. Eventually, something's going to go down. What's a rescue mission like that look like?
We have in the United States military an organization essentially dedicated to just this, the Air Force Para-Rescue Men, who operate with different aviation packages to insert in these exact circumstances. It's an extraordinary group of special operators who go in and rescue these pilots who themselves have extensive training on surviving, evading, and otherwise resisting potential captors.
I'm tonight trying to imagine what it's like for this U.S. service member behind enemy lines, what kind of conditions they're in, the weather, but also what they have on them. What kind of equipment might they have?
Well, their imperative, of course, is to survive. So they've got first aid gear, they've got training in how to administer self-care in case they're injured. As you might imagine, they can't anticipate that any help is coming quickly, so they have to take care of themselves. They have that all-important communications gear so that they can let the world know and let their chain of command know that they are okay and ideally participate in their own rescue, setting the conditions, conveying information about where they are. They have sidearm, potentially small arms, like a compact assault rifle to defend themselves in extremis. That's not an ideal situation, you can imagine. The Iranians are looking for them. There's going to be more Iranians than there are crew members, so you want to avoid that, but they have it if they need it.
But they have a way to avoid enemy personnel now, but still signal to potential rescuers?
That's right. They've got a GPS tracker, they've got a beacon, and they've got an encrypted radio. In an ideal situation, they're able to speak on that radio and communicate the details of their circumstances to help coordinate their rescue.
Well, we hope Air Force Pararescue gets there first.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Appreciate it.